It's the Hip Hop Matrix Show.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
It's the Hip Hop Matrix Show with J.Hall and DJ Akademiks.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Let's get it.
Yeah. What's good? Myself, J.Hall, this guy right here, DJ Akademiks. This is the Hip Hop Matrix Show. What's up with you, my
What's
brother?
happening, homie?
How are you?
I'm tired, but I'm good. I've been
yeah?
running around all day. It's been one of them days, like 3 events and a radio show. But I'm here.
It's a long Saturday. I feel like I've seen you already.
Yeah, you have.
It's crazy when you hit me because I was like already up. I might be skipping, but you had called me. You was like, yo, you up, yo? I was like, yeah. Like the phone just rang like one time. And then you kind of hit me with the, what you doing up, bro? Like,
I mean, I'm happy you up, but I mean, it was kind of odd that you just answered the phone so chipper at 4 o'clock in the morning, but okay.
Well, we might want to give some content so people can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you were doing a gig, right?
Yeah, and I got to my hotel room too late, and my reservation got canceled, so I didn't have a hotel no more.
There you go.
So I needed a place to crash, so I crashed on your couch.
Right. And I happened to be up already because I had passed out earlier, and I woke up like around 1 o'clock, and so I was just vibing out to some music. Well, I woke up like around 1:45. I watched the game. I was vibing out to some music or whatever. And so when you called me, I was like already like in search, like going down a rabbit hole in YouTube. And so that's why I was like, yeah, what's up? And you sounded more tired than me. That's what's so crazy. Yeah.
Exhausted.
Yeah, man. So it was a lot, man. It was a lot. It's been one hell of a week. It's been a hell of a awkward turn of week. We plan to get into it. So, you know, we don't want to hold none. We're going to get straight into some of the biggest things that have happened today. Let's start off with some of this mayhem that happened.
The Mayochella.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get into that. So, you know, early this week,
Beyonce didn't invent drum lines. You know that,
well,
right?
I mean, just a whole, you know, early this week, the Billboard Awards, it was the Billboard Awards. Now, I can't tell you the last time I actually sat and watched the entire Billboard Awards because it just never really interested me like that, to be honest with you. But I do know that my timeline was on fire with everyone upset at Taylor Swift because, I mean, she pretty much copied the whole Beychella that we were just watching on Netflix the week before. And my timeline was flooded with memes. People were like,
with the boots and everything.
He liked me. He take me to Panera. All that good stuff. Did you guys check it out?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yo, so first of all, the performance itself, what you think?
Well, I didn't see the actual performance. I saw all the memes. I saw the aftermath. I saw Instagram.
Okay.
That's what I saw.
So, yeah.
But it was enough. It was enough.
Well, and the performance itself was definitely, well, you were saying something earlier about the fact that Beyonce didn't invent drumline.
Yeah,
so
that was just one of the mayonnaise rebuttals.
Okay.
I saw on Instagram, so I just thought I'd just play
okay,
devil's advocate
got you.
and just quote for some reason.
Well,
but we absolutely know what it was.
Well, this ain't the first time that Taylor Swift has copied Beyonce, but this ain't the first time a white artist has copied a black artist.
Just be lucky Kanye wasn't there.
Yeah. But you know what's so crazy that you touch on that? Kanye has kind of made those two artists intertwine before we were ready. You know, when Taylor Swift won the award over Beyonce, and Kanye was furious, and we were upset at Kanye how he handled it. But when you look back and and now we at the present, and like I said, this ain't the first time Taylor has kind of copied B, because in her video she was looking like B a little bit. It's kind of like Kanye might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he might have been right a little bit, you know. Like,
but if he'd have jumped on that stage for that, oh my God!
But we wouldn't have been mad. I know, you know, Black Twitter wouldn't have been mad at all.
Man, I'm sorry, but Beychella was the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when you see the actual performance, like the one black guy that was in the band, he felt like he showed up at the wrong one. Like he was beaten. Like he felt like he was looking like he was on fire at first, and when he came out, like, wait, where's Beyonce? Like you could literally see him kind of just slowing down.
Get out!
It was so
Get out!
That song was corny, man. It was the most flavorless performance I had ever witnessed before in my life when I watched it on YouTube, man. It was horrible. It was horrible. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I can say mayo because mayo has more flavor than mayonnaise, but I don't know. Miracle Whip.
Blue cheese.
Yeah, it was horrible. Blue cheese.
Blue cheese chella. Blue cheese chella.
Yeah, stale yams, all that good stuff. Like, it was nothing about that performance that was. But white artists have been copying black artists since what? Elvis?
Elvis.
Before then,
I mean, she goes probably further back than that. We just don't know. We just can't remember.
Elvis copied Chuck Berry. They call Elvis the king of rock and roll.
They copy Little Richard too.
Copy Little Richard. And if you want to fast forward, if you don't want to do your history,
just took the whole song.
Yeah, because Elvis was actually doing songs that were sung by black people. So you're right. He actually took whole songs.
He just took the whole song and just sang it.
And it seems like every time you get a successful black artist, here comes a copycat, because the Jackson 5 had what was called the Osmonds.
Mm-hmm.
My mother had to tell me about that because I didn't know nothing about it. But if you go and you Google the Osmonds, they were literally like 5 white. Jackson 5's only white. Like, no joke. Fast forward to me in your era a little bit when we was kids, MC Hammer, and then who came along after MC Hammer? Vanilla Ice. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just like it never fails. Vanilla Ice. After that, I mean, it's a lot that you could name. It seems like there's always some sort of like white response when there's a major black artist that come about. And
instead of white response.
Yeah, it's like you
delegation,
can't.
The white delegation.
Yeah, they get together. They like
something about this.
We want to see our own version of that.
This is a problem.
Yeah, you don't like the original. One of the funniest memes I seen though was the one that said Beyonce was Popeyes and Taylor Swift was KFC. And that was hilarious. That was hilarious. So yeah, man, it's stuff like that I just felt like that was that was crazy, but it was flavorless. Also, during the Billboard Awards, your guy Drake made history. Drake he won 12 out of 7 nominations that night alone, and he became the reigning Billboard history champ, where he has a total of 27 Billboard Awards. Now, he beat out, Mayochella. He beat out Taylor Swift, who had the record.
Cardi B too.
Taylor Swift. Well, no. What I'm saying is Taylor Swift had overall made history. She had 23, but now Drake is the reigning champ, period. And so when you see the run that Drake has had, is it clear to say we've never seen a run like this before? As far as like commercial success in hip hop, or almost any artist, as far as 10 years straight?
Hip hop, Jay-Z.
Remember, you pointed out when we was on the Dude and Shit before that Jay had moments, but not like times where he was like number one.
Yeah, he wasn't number one, but he was there.
Not like, I don't know if we've seen like Drake, though. Drake, I'm talking about Billboard is first of all, Billboard ranks just straight numbers.
Mm-hmm.
How long you on the charts, they go straight numbers. So they're not even going to try to tell you that they're going about who has a better album. So that argument goes out the window. But I'm talking about the fact that when you see the run that Drake had, with number one hits after hits, Drake's been out for a solid 10 years right now. And I don't remember a summer where Drake didn't have like a number one record. I'm just talking about just straight numbers. And like you pointed out before when we were talking that, and you made me really think about this, is that Hov has had moments, but like you said, in 98, he had to share it with DMX. 2000, he had to share it with Nelly. Hov might have had like 1 year, but I'm talking about this consistent year of these commercial hits. I ain't talking about Critical, because we all know that Critical, that's different. Hov is a GOAT. But I'm saying, have we ever seen anything like this that Drake is doing?
Drake, is Drake still number one now?
He just won 12 awards out of 17 is what I'm trying to tell you. Are you paying attention? Get off your phone. Like, are you paying attention? Like, he just won 12 out of 17 in one night.
I know he won 12.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my point. Have we ever seen a run like this is what I'm asking.
I'm thinking. I'm buying time.
Yeah, I don't
in
know,
hip-hop, probably not.
Yeah. Damn near not in any, not no. I was shocked that when I read the numbers, I was shocked that B didn't have more, as far as like a record herself. You know what I'm saying? Like how Beyonce herself doesn't have a record like that is what I was thinking about.
Yeah, because they go at Beyonce a little bit on awards.
I'm starting to believe that. Beyonce has gave us great coaches. She's
so powerful in so many ways. They just don't want to give it to her.
It's this resistance to like we just don't want to give it to her. Yo, so let me a side note, right? And for the record, let me just say, I think Beyonce, we all know Beyonce is incredible looking, and Solange is incredible looking. But I was on this thread with these dudes who are all married, right? And they were all just like going in, just like, yeah, Solange is like way better than, Beyonce, just like as a performer, everything. And I was like, it's
just like the Scotty better than Jordan argument back in the day. Like,
exactly. And it sounded like you were echoing everything that your wife probably said while you was on the couch, and you probably just sitting back like, yeah, you're right, honey. She's not all that.
It just sounds stupid. Just shut up.
As I'm saying, so you're right. I think it's a thing where Beyonce has always been so big there's been this resistance to just want to be against her just because. But sometimes just because it's popular, it doesn't mean sometimes people are really good.
Really, really good.
Even if they are popular, it doesn't mean that just because they're popular that they lose any kind of flavor or someone else is less deserving. I don't see why we can't celebrate both. But I was shocked that Beyonce didn't have more awards. But with Drake having this run that he's had, I don't know if we're ever going to see a run like this.
Chris Brown
before. Chris Brown, they had no 10-year run of being not number ones, not like Drake. I'm talking about hip hop.
Smacking Rihanna. I mean, he would have.
I mean, I'm with you on that, but that's an if. But I'm talking about actual facts that actual happened. Now, to Chris Brown credit, Chris Brown did break a record. He had put up there. He had spent a total of 400 weeks
on the Billboard,
which is a big deal. You know what I mean?
It is a very much big deal.
Yeah, which is a big deal. Well, we definitely, to your point though, we definitely haven't seen it in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as with Drake, we definitely haven't seen it in hip hop. And I think Drake might go down, man, as one of the greats who never had a classic album. To be honest with you. And it might get to a point we might look back and it might not matter. You know,
well, it doesn't matter as much now because it's such a recyclable and quick digestive time now. People really just want singles.
Yeah.
People really just want singles. So it doesn't matter as long as he puts out gives us those club bangers and keeps us going. I mean, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, because his albums really don't come off as complete albums. They come off as like a host of singles that you just shoot out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you're right. Like, you don't listen to a Drake album. I'm not gonna lie. There are times when I hear Drake's music, I don't really know which album they were actually on. Sometimes when a Drake album, when I hear a Drake song, Drake is always just there. I'm never versus like, for example, when we talk about Hov, or we talk about Kendrick Lamar, or even J. Cole, we know exactly what album that was.
Mm-hmm.
With Drake, it's kind of like with a song, I'm just like, oh, that's Drake. But I'm never thinking like, oh yeah, that was the album that was, this or whatever. I'm never thinking that with Drake, So
you're not sure. You gotta go digging.
Yeah, you gotta go dig.
Gotta go do some research.
There's been a few times I was wrong where I thought that song was on a particular album and I was completely wrong. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Chris Brown, I don't know if you caught Justin Bieber was, been saying some comments lately, and he said that Chris Brown is pretty much Tupac and Michael Jackson merged in one. You think there's any truth in that?
I mean, there is some truth in The Game actually had a response to that as well. I don't know if you've seen that. Did you see that?
I saw on my timeline. What were we saying?
Oh, he was just saying, I mean, they don't have to agree with Bieber's comments, but I mean, then he said, I don't have to agree with Bieber's opinion. I just need my own opinion. But then he just went and agreed with the opinion, though. So it's like, he's like, yeah.
That sounds like a game response.
Yeah, I see some resemblance to MJ. And Chris be out here thugging, so I definitely see some Pac in him as well. You just agree with what Bieber said, but you just said you didn't have to agree with what he said.
Yeah.
So
that's the perfect game response, hands down.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with the game. But
honestly, I always felt like Chris Brown was Bobby Brown when he didn't go to jail.
That's what Charlamagne said.
Yeah, I always felt like he was Bobby Brown. Like, to me, Chris Brown was the closest because I don't really think Bobby gets the respect that he really gets.
Bobby didn't have that long of a run solo wise.
No, it's true.
So Bobby had like 1-2 albums solo.
Totally correct.
That way he had one mega album.
Oh yeah.
And then he had one album that was okay, that just rode the wave, that was decent. But after that, Bobby's single sales, I mean, his solo sales weren't really nothing after that.
Well, I'm not really talking about the sales. I'm just talking about when Bobby came out, we had never seen anything like Bobby before, to your point about him having like a mega album. But as far as the singing, the edginess, and
Don't
R&B,
Be Cool was a mega album.
Yeah, and I'm talking about as far as the edginess of R&B. When you look at everybody else who was doing R&B when Bobby was doing it, right? They wasn't doing what Bobby was doing.
No.
Bobby was definitely going against the grain. Them
not.
brothers had the silk hair, the perm. Everybody was trying to look like Prince, and Bobby was like, I'm not wearing none of that.
Uh-huh.
He was looking like a rapper, and he was rapping. So if Bobby would have had a longer run, to me, Chris Brown just took that baton and just ran with it. Totally went past everything that, Usher has done in a sense. And I think Usher is dope, like one of the best voices of all time.
Chris Brown is definitely past Usher.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Yeah.
Not to disrespect Usher, but it's just fact.
But Chris Brown doesn't have
nothing you can do. That guy's just the GOAT.
But Chris Brown doesn't have a Confessions though, but he has close. He's another one, like you said, like a Drake. He has dope songs and he has moments, but we're like, when you think about an album, he don't have an album that made us all stop. He had a moment with the situation with Rihanna, but he doesn't have an album that made us stop like the way we talk about Confessions. but to your point, is that starting to matter now when we look back as far as albums and when we look at it just people being
got
there?
an album with 45 records on it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going through all those 45 records. I tried one time too. I got through like maybe 15, and I was like, yeah, this is a lot for me. 45, that's a lot. But he's also somebody I can't pinpoint his albums. He just always has records out.
Because he just got so many of them.
Yeah, he just got records out.
Even he's about to turn 30, and he's been making albums since he was 15.
Yeah. You know, to me, what was so big about this Justin Bieber comment is that who we blow up about when they have an opinion. Like, when did we start really caring what Justin Bieber's opinion was about anything in the culture? Like, why was that so impactful? Like, oh man, you heard what Justin Bieber said? Like, why do we care?
It was just more of the comparison that he made, and the point that he was making behind it, which everybody just flew past, is just give people the roses while they can still smell them. Like he also said in that part that everybody forgot about is that when Chris Brown is dead and gone, then you're going to give him all these accolades and you're going to tell everybody how great he was and he was the greatest ever. But why don't you just tell him now?
Yeah. And I also think that with Chris' situation, we never really let go what the Rihanna situation was. But to that point, Chris kind of gave us reminders of that. You know, most people when they kind of got in trouble and they dodged it, I could say dodged the bullet somewhat, like he didn't go to jail. For some years and years and years, most people like Chris Brown, they kept on going. Versus Chris, dog, what are you doing? You doing a selfie? I'm like, I don't know what you're doing.
I was telling somebody to come on.
Oh, I'm like, I didn't know what you was doing. You totally made me lose my whole train of thought. But my point is with Chris Brown is like, I think he's done actions that make us not necessarily forget what he's done, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
That's I think if that was the case, like if it wasn't for the situation with Rihanna, he probably would be getting the flowers that he deserved. There's no question about that. He probably would be getting the flowers. Well, speaking of somebody who he ain't getting no flowers, but he definitely got in trouble, Black Boy JB got arrested for possession of marijuana and a handgun.
Just like D'Angelo Russell in the airport.
While he was speeding.
While he was speeding. That was ridiculous.
Now Black Boy said that the police want to make him a drug dealer and he has paid for everything. He said they want to make him a drug dealer. And my only comment to that is your name is Black Boy JB.
Your name is Black Boy JB.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Your name is Black Boy. I mean, you new age artists. I rock with y'all, but you guys be drawing a lot of attention. You know what I mean? Like when your first video when you have all this money and you ain't sold no record, or we don't know that you sold no record, and you on your video and your Instagram showing all this money, and then your name is Black Boy. Listen.
Yeah, feds is watching.
I don't believe in profiling, but I don't know if that's profiling when you saying, "Come here, look at me, I'm Black Boy." Like, I mean, just want to point that out, champ. You know what I mean? You might want to, think about that. So you kind of giving the police. But this is something that's real heavy. I want to get to that had hit. Was the death of John SIngleton. Happened earlier this week. First.
Yeah, that was tough.
My
favorite movie, Higher Learning.
He was in a coma.
Ever.
He
had a stroke.
Well, he was in the hospital already because he was feeling pain in his leg, and and then he went to a coma. And then at first when you were hearing about him, he was dead early. It was kind of like. I know I didn't want to make no announcement at all because I didn't want to, I wanted to be sure. And when he passed, man, you start seeing or think about all the movies that he's done that was so culturally impactful to us and what it did for us. And I mean, one of my kids, my little homies was wearing a Poetic Justice shirt, didn't even really understand what he was wearing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because that term of Poetic Justice has been said so much since he's come up. That he don't really understand really how big that was. Because I remember as a kid, when you heard that Tupac was going to be in a movie with Janet Jackson, you was like, this is not real. Like, to see them two on screen, that didn't even seem, real. And the thing about John SIngleton, and, especially when you just think about from Boys in the Hood, that's the first time we really started saying terms like gentrification.
Yeah, and he created the most disrespectful music video I've ever.
Disrespectful movie?
I mean, disrespectful movie music video, because that's basically what it was.
What video was this?
Remember the Time, Michael Jackson. Yeah, when Michael Jackson snuck into the castle and seduced the king of Egypt's wife right in front of the king of Egypt, and then ran around the pyramid.
So can we talk about for a second how I didn't, as a kid, Michael was the man. That was back when Michael premiered video right after like 11 Color, and you be glued to the TV
Yeah,
screen.
it'd be a
So Michael
10-minute music video.
So Michael was a hero. So I didn't understand what the problem was. I got older and I was like, yo, Michael was totally wrong, yo.
Yeah, he was a straight asshole.
I mean, he showed up, did a spin, took
All
off his
I
robe.
remember about on the farm, on the beach, you and me in Spain.
In front of the king.
You know how far away Spain is from Egypt?
And then the king.
That's a long way for you to be wandering out of nowhere with this guy that's in my pyramid right now.
Dude, the king had already killed 2 people. And you gonna be bold enough to come out there and tell the king what you done did with his wife in front of him?
All in my pyramid.
And then you gonna throw your
audacity.
Hey, you gonna throw your little golden sand out, you know what I'm saying? With your little curl.
Audacity.
You know? Michael was totally wrong. And John SIngleton wrote that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Put that on
most
screen.
disrespectful music video. That was just about as bad as Hit 'Em Up.
But you know how how star-studded that video was, though?
Yes,
I mean,
Magic Johnson, Eddie Murphy, I forgot
Iman.
the queen. Iman, that was her
Iman,
name.
yeah.
Yes, John Singleton.
That video was like packed with stars. I mean, I don't know if we ever seen videos. You're not gonna have a video like that where everybody in that video of that caliber, who they were, you know. And John was really young when he did Boys in the Hood. He's like, what, 25, 26 when
like
Boys in the Hood came out. He was like the first, I think, black director to be nominated for Best Movie. But when you think about Boys in the Hood and the impact it had, a lot of people don't know that in Ice Cube's role, Ice Cube and his homies, that was supposed to be NWA as a whole. He said the only person who took him seriously was Ice Cube. You know, he said nobody else took him seriously. So when you think about that, you got Boys in the Hood that then came out. You talk about gentrification, because I know as a child walking out that movie theater, that was the first time I started asking those questions, like, because in Detroit, when we go past 8 Mile, you know, you don't see the liquor stores in our neighborhood. You don't see gun shops. You know, these are questions I never really asked myself until I saw that. And I remember lining up for a John Singleton movie. I mean, he had just that much of an impact. Well, when his movie was about to come out, you was like, yo, you got to go see John Singleton movie.
Yeah, that was our Oprah before Oprah.
What you mean, like Oprah before Oprah?
He was, when now Oprah does something, you're lined up. I mean, back then, he was the spokesperson for the hood.
That's true.
Movie-wise.
And he was about that life because he was at the LA riots.
Yeah, he resembled what we were actually going through. So
Yeah.
he made real life movie stuff.
He was actually right outside the courtroom when they announced the non-guilty verdict for those officers that beat up on Rodney King that was caught on video. He was out there. You know, this man is out there with no security, you know, arguing with the cops and on TV arguing about, you know, the injustice that just happened. Like, these are moments that I don't know if we're ever going to actually see again. You think about what he did with Pac. Like, Pac at that time had just came off Juice playing Crazy Bishop. And then you had Pac play this role of this very sensitive man who was totally opposite of Bishop, you know, and it was believable because that also goes for the skill set who Pac was as an actor, his range. But John Singleton was able to show that range because he could have easily had Pac throwing a gun again, you know, and we wouldn't have been mad at it. We would have been cheering for it, especially at that point. So he went against the grain because when you think about what Boys in the Hood was, I thought that he was going to come out with something just like a Boys in the Hood on his second movie, and then Poetic Justice was like dope. And then, like you said, Higher Learning. I mean, that had impact.
My favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, Tupac was supposed to be in that one. You know, played the Omar Epps role.
He was locked up.
He was no. The movie threw him off. The producers, it wasn't John. The producers threw him off. Now, Pac and John allegedly fell out after that.
No, Pac fell out with the Hughes brothers.
Bro. Let me backtrack you. If you can see interviews where Pac was actually upset with John right before he passed away, and because he was supposed to be Omar Epps. He actually showed up for a couple scenes or whatever, but the producers thought Pac was wilding too much and they kicked him off. So that's how Omar Epps actually got the role. And I always wonder what would have happened if Pac would have been in that also too, because, you know, those who had like a partnership, they wanted to be like De Niro and Martin Scorsese. You know, I always wonder if they would have did more, what they could have came about, especially if Pac would have got older. But, you know, that time had passed. But Higher Learning ended up being really good anyway because we never looked at Remy the same. Like ever. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at Michael Rappaport now, I still kind of twitch when I see him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, I don't know, man. That's Remy, yo. Like that's Remy. That's Remy. I mean, and just this thing that he did, even recently, I mean, because I'm a huge fan, I was trying to get you to watch of the movie, the TV show Snowfall that come on FX that he's executive producer behind. You know, it talks about crack coming to the 80s in L.A. Like, that show was dope.
I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, that show was dope. I mean, he was constantly working. I mean, he did he still direct some episodes of Empire. He directs some episodes, some other stuff. He produced Hustle and Flow. And we're not going to forget about the hood classic Baby Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget about that, which was definitely a movie that he wrote for Pop.
Put Taraji on the map.
Oh, my God. Didn't he put Taraji on the map? Woo. Man.
Changed her life.
Changed her life. Changed mine. Changed mine. I remember.
Beat it up, right dance.
Right. I remember when Baby Boy came out, man. I was a really young adult, or I think I was about to come out of high school. Because I can't remember the year Baby Boy came out. But I remember watching Baby Boy and being like, yo, I'm not gonna call my mother's name like that no more. Because I used to be like, Ma, and I was like, after I saw Tyrese, I was like, hey, mother.
Hey, mother.
Hey, excuse me. Because that whining that Tyrese had, in his voice, I saw that and it resonated with me, and I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I straightened up and flew right. And I wasn't even on that level of a Baby Boy where I had like baby mamas and none of that, but it just scared me. It scared me straight. Like, I didn't want that. But that was another cultural impactful movie, that he did. And John was just really good, man. A lot of people in this era, we throw the word GOAT around a lot. Like, we throw, he's GOAT, GOAT, GOAT. But John SIngleton really lived that life. Like, he really was a GOAT, man.
Yeah. Rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
Prayers to all him and his friends and his family.
Yeah, it'll never be another, like John SIngleton. I actually am encouraging anyone that hears this that I hope it be someone better, that come along, that can be just as dope. Big ups to Knife Wonder. He got inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame. That's a big deal, man. Knife Wonder is like a professor down at, I think, North Carolina University. Teaches music. He also has
North Carolina A&T or Tar Heels?
No, Tar Heels.
Oh, snap.
Tar Heels. Okay. He also has his own music display in the African American Museum here in Washington, D.C. when you go to the music department part.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, shout out to Knife Wonder. When I saw that it was the Music Hall of Fame, it's weird because, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees was this past weekend. And it made me think, like, why don't they just change their stuff to just Music Hall of Fame? Because there's always been this argument, like, what's rock and roll? I'm like, why don't they just change theirs, like, to Music Hall of Fame? Like, why don't you take a note from these smaller markets? But big ups to Knife Wonder. Also, how we feel about Jaden Smith? I don't know if you heard, but he's going to be playing a young Kanye West living in alternative reality in the upcoming Showtime series called Omniverse.
I feel great about it. I mean, look at his pedigree. That's Jaden Smith. That's a Smith. He can act anybody.
Yeah.
That's the Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Right there. He can act anybody. He just took some time off, but he can do whatever he wants.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard it, I wanted to hate. And then when I saw how they put the double pictures beside each other, like Jaden and Kanye, I looked at them too and I was like, yeah, that sounds right, yo. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I looked at it and I was like, that sounds about right.
He's a Smith.
Yeah, but Jaden don't have to act that hard because that's who Jaden is. He's a very eclectic young man himself.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like Jaden got to stretch.
No, he ain't got to stretch.
Like, he can be himself. And it's
he
believable.
He ain't got to stretch too far.
All he got to do is raise his voice and yell at people. But I don't know about the alternate reality part, but, it's an anthology series, so it's going to be a one-episode thing. So it's not like it's going to be a series about Kanye.
Oh.
It's one episode where he's playing a young Kanye West. So,
okay.
That's going to be interesting, within itself. I don't know if you got a chance to catch some new music that came out, YG.
Yeah, I did catch this YG record. I actually started to play it tonight. But YG, Tyra, and John Z, Go Loco.
What you think about that?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a cool record. It's a good record.
YG, I kind of miss the partnership that he had with DJ Mustard. I mean, I think this is a DJ Mustard song. But to me, the music that he's done with DJ Mustard on that first album still is classic.
They was supposed to be the next Snoop and Dre.
Yeah. And I know they squashed their beef and they still work together a little bit, but I like it when it was just them two.
Yeah, when they just hibernated together and just.
Yeah, I was listening to Do It To You the other day, yo. That joint still go hard.
Yes, it does. Who do you love? Also, Logic and Eminem, Homicide.
It's a lyrical masterpiece. My only thing is I don't know if anyone cares.
Who won?
Who won? I'll be 100 with you, y'all. It doesn't sound like a competitive song.
It's always competitive
to me, but you're right. And I say that, I'm like, what am I talking about? I gotta listen to it again, bro, because I was the first time I heard it, Logic goes in.
I give it to the young boy.
Yeah, Logic definitely goes in. But you know what threw me off? It's because at the end of the song,
he didn't renegade him, but he won.
But what I'm saying is, what threw me off was at the end of the song, I don't know if you saw that part that went viral. They played that guy that was imitating Eminem when he was like, on porch. Like, and so that threw me off that they actually added that in the song. So, you know. But I guess you can give it to Logic. But no, it wasn't no renegade situation. Yeah.
No, it definitely wasn't a renegade situation, but I give it to the young boy.
Yeah.
All right, on Jonah Lucas, Devil's Work, ADHD.
Yeah, you know, he's caused, you know, Jordan Lucas has had the ability to make these videos or these songs that had been raising people's eyebrows and getting the attention. I don't know if it makes people really want to buy his music, but people are upset about this ADHD. I mean, he's talking about how he feel about God and why didn't you take certain people. Like, instead of taking Tupac, he has a picture of Suge Knight in there. He got a picture of the right-wing conservative commentator Tommy Lauren in there. And there's a few other people he has in there, and the fact that, you know, he's upset about Nipsey, he's trying to figure that out. I think it's an honest record. You know what I mean? I think it's an honest record. You remember last year he had that record about race that had everybody kind of like.
I mean, I think he's probably saying what everybody has thought at one time or another. You just ain't say it out your mouth in public on a platform.
Yeah. But I mean, I think he feels that way though too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It sounds like a genuine record.
So I mean, he said it. So of course he felt like that. He just had the balls to say it.
Yeah, it's a decent record. It's a decent record, man. I just don't know if it makes people become Jordan and Luca fans. That's the only thing about it. You know, that's it, what happens past that. But it's a dope record. To me, it's a very honest record of asking God, like, why? Because we all feel that way. Like you said, when we feel like, why does God take away? It always seems like God take away the good people, especially if you're somewhat of a spiritual believer. You believe in that. It does. It can seem frustrating. So I definitely get it. You're right. It's a song that resonates. Anything else that came out for us in music that we missing?
Just the Crash Talk.
Well, we talked about that last week.
Already.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
That's about it. I mean,
what's popping? Did you get a chance to see? You know, when you hit me up yesterday, I told you I was up because I was watching the Denver and Portland game. They went to 4 overtimes.
Yeah,
that's the first time a team has done that in the playoffs since in the 50s.
Yeah, Portland is just on fire. They trying to make it happen right now.
What, anything happen in sport? Because I only been paying attention to the.
Well, I mean, you got James Harden getting poked in the eye, and they play again. So you got that. You got them. They desperate right now, so they're trying to make that a series. The Bucks are up 2-1 over the Celtics. So, like I still say, it's gonna be Celtics Warriors. I said that before the playoffs even started, and I'm still sticking with my picks. Bucks and Celtics, Bucks and Warriors, Bucks Warriors. All right, but retro.
Well, what I was going to ask you real quick was how you feel about the young boy and the Washington Redskins quarterback who is going to be able to wear number 7. You got good feelings about him?
He'll be decent, but it won't matter because my Eagles are going to win the division. So we can slide right past that one because you already know how I feel. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah,
so you can go and just keep skipping on to the next subject.
I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah, keep it going. Move
how
on
we
right
feel
past
about how we feel about Ice Cube. He's been teasing us with this next Friday movie literally for the past 2 years, but he was on, I think, SportsCenter or one of that, and he confirmed that the script is complete and they're fighting They're fighting for a release date for the year 2020. Actually,
stop playing, Cube. Shit.
Yeah, and he said he would like for it to drop during the 25th anniversary of the first Friday. So, you know, this is the one that they're planning to have Mike Epps and Chris Tucker in. And, I mean, it's an easy storyline. I guess allegedly Chris Tucker's character been in rehab this whole time.
Oh, shit.
Because remember, that's how Friday ended, remember?
Oh, man, he in rehab for 25 years?
Mm-hmm.
What type of weed is that? I mean, it feel like Stephen A. Smith. Stay off the weed. D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess also too. That's probably what it is, man. Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna get to that. To go back, your boy D'Angelo Russell got caught weed at the airport, yo.
Yeah, he had an Arizona ice container with the little stuffy thing. Where they make it into the containers where you can hide it with the screw off joints. And they caught him. Dumbass.
Can we just talk about this?
That's like so 2000. Like they on to that now. That's old.
Now
bro.
what exactly is that, bro? I don't understand.
It's like I used to get them like when I went out the country, like Mexico. They have like a little, say that Red Bull can right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Red Bull can. It'll be a screw where you can screw it off, and it's just a pocket container. It just looks like a Red Bull can. It is a Red Bull can where they just made it a container.
Mm-hmm.
So you just stash. They made it a little stash box. That's all. They gut it out and make it a stash box. But
can we talk about how D'Angelo Russell is the definition of getting your own way?
Yeah,
like he finally
had such a great year.
Like first of all,
he was doing so good. Let's
backtrack for a second. If you remember, like what was that, his rookie or second year, early in his Laker career, he was videotaping his man Nick Young, allegedly talking about how he was cheating on his then fiance at the time, who was what's the old girl name? I'm so fancy, Iggy Azalea, right? And so he got in his way in that situation. You know, a year later he gets traded from the Lakers. All right, cool. We write him off as a bust. Then he comes back. He's having a great year. He took the Brooklyn Nets from zero to the playoffs and had a good playoff series. You know, was doing his thing. And you get caught with weed, bro. I mean, is he just somebody that when something good happened, he got to go do it and go F it up?
Just too reckless.
Like he's just not a bright dude, yo. Like he can't be like you're D'Angelo Russell. You can buy weed anywhere. Like where's your
somebody to buy weed?
You should have
a weed man to carry that.
And you've been in the league long enough to have a weed man everywhere you land.
Yeah, and if you are going to be dumb enough to take it with you, just have somebody else carry it. So if they get caught, they take the fall. You just pay their bail.
And that's a fair. Anytime you get caught in the airport, that's fair, right?
Everything in the airport is federal.
So this situation got potential to blow up bigger than what it is, right?
The hallway is federal.
Yeah.
Federal urination in public.
Yeah. So this got the potential to be bigger than what it is, or you think it's gonna blow over?
It's gonna blow over because he got the money. They're gonna cite him. They only cited him. They didn't lock him up. So it's just the stupidness of it, the recklessness of it. That's the real big thing because it is at the end of the day it's weed. He didn't get caught with cocaine. He didn't get caught with heroin. He didn't get caught with a gun. So I mean, it's weed, but it's just the stupidness of it and the recklessness of it that is the biggest deal of it.
I think they caught him because they knew he was D'Angelo Russell. And they knew he was doing something stupid, and they was like, "Yo, we got to get that dude right there."
He was probably high.
Yeah, he probably looked high, and he looks high when you see him on TV on his own. Like
He
D'Angelo Russell,
smell weed on him. So.
Yeah. I mean, it just gotta,
You know we're gonna get randomly checked anyway. You're a young black man looking crazy with a bunch of gold chains on. Oh yeah, come here, sir.
Yeah,
come here, sir. Random check.
Right. I also saw what was that? You know how LeBron got that show, The Shop. They showed a commercial for the next episode, and he got your boy in the episode. Man, what's your man's name, man? The one with the lie of my father, yo. Play for the Lakers.
Oh, Zoe.
Huh?
Zoe.
Yeah,
Zoe. Lonzo Ball.
Yes. I'm sorry. I was like, who? Dog, he hasn't done that much to give him a nickname though, bro. Like, he's Lonzo Ball. he hasn't. No, he don't deserve a nickname.
Get your government, sir.
No, yeah, nickname is when you actually have done something in the NBA, bro. Let's slow down. That's why I was like, Zoe, what are you talking about? No, that's Lonzo Ball. But he's going to be new in the next episode. And to me, does that show him branching off from his pops? Because, his pops was always talking real reckless about LeBron.
Well, he was already trying to branch off from his pops.
Okay.
Branch off from the brand. He was already doing that, trying to separate. So I think that was the only way he could stay with LeBron. They might have had a backdoor conversation.
Yeah, because he almost got traded.
He was kind of quiet this season, though. Give him some.
Yeah.
Big Ball was kind of, he was quiet this year.
Well, he ended up saying remember, he did speak because he said that his son should go play for Phoenix.
If he was traded anywhere,
he mouthed off like a good week, and then it kind of went away.
Yeah, he was quiet this year. He was quiet. I mean, of course, he going to let some steam off once or twice, but I mean, he was quiet. That rookie year, he was talking all year long.
I mean, he kind of, you can almost say he set his sons back because the other two, we don't hear about them no more. He took one out of school. Like, are they gonna be able to go pro? And
they trying to get back into college.
And right,
trying to be college eligible.
Yeah, how's that gonna be possible though?
I don't know, but they working magic. So NCAA sucks anyway. So
man, they get new players. The thing about NCAA, they get new players every day, so they can gladly tell you no.
Yeah, NCAA sucks.
Yeah, but they can gladly tell you no. They don't got to care. So. Yeah, I guess I saw that, and it made me wonder about whether or not is he putting the final touches on really branching off from his dad, and he just don't want to make a huge announcement. You just going to kind of look up, and he going to be doing his own thing because he already separated himself from the Big Baller brand, right?
Yeah, and
the tattoo that he had is gone or something like that?
Yeah, and the manager that they had that stole like $2 million or something.
He ain't dealing with that guy no more.
No, definitely not.
Right. So if you in there with LeBron and your father been talking smack about
$2 million went missing.
They ain't go missing. That joint went to the mall. That joint went to some side chick who's living out in Thailand. and the side chick who's living in
He
Cuba.
got that new Bentley, that new Rolls Royce truck.
There's a side mama right now going shopping with that, buying diamonds, bumping Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? Like that money ain't disappeared. We know where that money went.
Oh, city girls, bumping city girls.
Right. She
Big Birkin bag worth 5-6 figures.
Right. It's true. You know what I'm saying? That's where that money went. You know, we already know where that money went. Lonzo was like, no, I can't. So, you know, hey, man, big ups to him if he's trying to have that kind of relationship with LeBron. I don't know if it's going to keep him from getting traded, but, well, maybe it will. Maybe everybody else is going to get traded. Lonzo going to stay. Maybe. But he's definitely going to branch off. I'm with you, though. I think he's definitely going to branch off from the Pops, though. That's most definite. And some sad news, though. Bushwick Bill of the Ghetto Boys had announced that he is in stage 4 cancer.
Yeah, I heard that. That was terrible.
Yeah. That I didn't need to hear that, you know, in the midst of everything else that's been going on.
Yeah.
You know, Bushwick Bill is pretty much, when you think of Ghetto Boys, you think of Bushwick Bill. Like, I remember when there was one Ghetto Boy album when I was a kid where Scarface and Willie D dropped on their own without Bushwick. Nah, it just wasn't the same. Like, nobody wanted that album. Like, it just, Bushwick is the voice. He's the voice, you know, and he's always been a voice in hip hop. And you hate to hear about somebody stage 4. My brother had stage 4 cancer when he discovered it.
My father had stage 4 cancer when he discovered it.
Yeah, it's pretty serious, and you want to be optimistic about it. I don't want to think about what happened with my brother. Or you don't want to think about with that situation. But it's kind of like when you heard about John Singleton going into a coma, having a stroke. You kind of like deep down in your heart, you was like, man, that's not looking good, you know. Yeah. So the health situation, but we hoping Bushwick Bill, gets better. But he does seem to have a very spiritual kind of attitude about it, because he was saying, if you remember his album or his song back in the day called Ever So Quick, he feels like he died before and he came back, when he got shot in the eye. So, he has a perspective on the situation.
A different perspective.
Yeah. And I think it's on a respectful tip, we should respect that when other people don't, react the way we think somebody sometimes should react. Because I know my brother, and from his personal experience, man, his perspective definitely had sharpened. Mm-hmm. And I remember my last couple conversations with him when he was talking. I mean, he was just like, yeah, I did this to myself. It is what it is. I mean, I was looking at him like, bro, like he was just on a different plane, and I realized that I had to accept his way, because he definitely knew it was time, even though he was fighting it. But there was a lot of talk of like, yeah, when you get my age or when these things happen, kind of like prepping me in a way. But I didn't see it at that moment. I had to kind of look back on it, But you got to respect people who have that. And listen, if Bushwick Bill can come out of it, all praise is due, because, miracles happen every day. So I don't want to just dismiss him and wipe him off, but definitely going to have him in my prayers, because that's a legend right there. On a note of something about death that's a little bit more entertaining.
Oh, God, here we go.
We got to. I'm
just gonna turn my mic off.
No. Let me tell you what my beef is with you, bro. Let me tell you what my beef is with you. No, because I thought about you. Why
are you thinking about me?
I'm gonna tell you why I thought about you, dog. You know my biggest beef is with you, bro.
What?
You can be so contrarian at times that it makes me angry. Where it be the biggest moments that happen, you be sitting there like, nah, I ain't fold your arms or whatever. Game of Thrones this past weekend. First of all, we had a weekend of two big things that happened we'll never have in years to come. You had Avengers Endgame, which is something people have been waiting 10 years on, this one movie. Just build up on this one movie. And then you had the episode of Game of Thrones, Battle of Winterfell. People have been waiting for the past 10 years. Two impactful moments in one weekend. And DJ Akademiks participated in how many? Which one?
Neither.
I can't believe
I'm
you
gonna
at
see
times,
the Avengers.
bro.
I ain't worried about the Game of Thrones stuff, but I am going to see the Avengers movie.
And first of all, to my Game of Thrones people, that episode was 80 minutes long. Little fun fact for you, dog. It took them 55 days to film that one episode.
It took them 55 days to film one episode.
One episode, because that's how epic they made the battle. It was a battle episode. It was a battle scene. And we had been waiting on this battle since maybe episode 1 or 2 when Game of Thrones first premiered. That's how heavy this battle situation was. 55 days, man, to film one episode, man. You got to think about that for a second. You know what I'm saying?
It's 2 months.
And the major characters that were left, half of them died. First of all, Game of Thrones is known for killing off, they don't have a main character, because they know for killing off whoever. And they don't even wait till no season finale to kill off somebody. They'll kill you 5 minutes into episode 3. okay? And you could have had a big impact the last 3 years.
So how many seasons was Game of Thrones?
This is his 8th season, but it took a 2-year break. So
Right,
it's been around for 10 years.
And it's done now. This is the last season.
Yeah, this is the last season. These next
All right, so
3
I can
episodes
go
going to be
binge.
in.
I can just go binge and watch the whole thing.
No, you definitely can't. Listen, and there's nothing wrong with that because after every season, I go back and binge because it has so much in it. You have to go back and watch it.
Maybe I just might watch it from the beginning and just watch all 8 seasons.
No, you
straight.
should. You should. And here's the
'Cause
thing.
I'd rather do that so I don't have to wait for nothing.
Here's the tip. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. Make sure you put your phone down because when it comes to Game of Thrones, you have to pay attention. This episode that just passed, it was so thrilling and it was so dope. You for a moment, right? So let me just give you a small example without giving away for you, but you ain't gonna remember this, right?
But you ain't gonna
No, you ain't gonna remember this. So let's say you got like an army, right? And you got your army. Your most roughest part of your army is on the front line, right? Your shooters, your guerrilla shooters, right? Your G unit is in the front, right? Now, mind you, all of your soldiers ain't no joke, but your G unit is in the front. 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Lloyd Banks back in 03, they all up front, right?
Mm-hmm.
You send them out first, okay? Because you like, yo, they didn't cause damage everywhere they went. They didn't cause damage.
Okay.
So they sent them out first, right?
And they got done.
They was just done. Like it was like 100 of them, maybe 5 came back. And then this is like 10 minutes into the show. You're like, wow. I mean, these are the most fierce warriors on the planet. And they sent them out first, and they was like, they all went out like, yeah, making all this noise. Then all of a sudden you heard them come back. It was like,
Couple little broken battered man.
this like, dude. And that was only like the first 10 minutes, dog. And you knew this episode was about to take you there. So understand that if you could grasp that, then you can grasp Game of Thrones because that's how deep this episode was. You know, it had everything in it at once because we're now seeing our main characters in the same scene because for the longest, most of the main characters in Game of Thrones, they had their own storylines going. So this season, we're actually seeing our main characters in the same room, talking to each other, stuff like that. And guess what? Half of them still dying. You know what I mean? So one of them went out like a G. You know, it was looking real bad. You know, they went to go, you know, shout out to my man Theon. Theon probably had it the worst because, you know, he had got his balls cut off. You know what I mean? About like season 4, he got his balls cut off, but he came back like a man, you know what I mean? Because he went to go attack this big boss, you know, to go out like a G because he wasn't scared because after you cut a man balls off, what else he got to fear? You know what I'm saying? So he ain't care at all, you know what I mean? So he just went straight and attacked the guy, like, F it, you know what I mean? And so the person who ended up killing the big evil boss, you know, came out of nowhere for everybody. And the thing about Game of Thrones is so deep is that she killed him with a trick that she had did 2-3 seasons ago with somebody else. But you had to like pay attention, like go back and watch it. You know, that's how detailed the show is. Well, the first 3 episodes of season 1 are still important. Like literally the first 3 episodes of season 1, they still make references back to it. And you have to pay attention because the show doesn't do flashbacks. So they'll just talk about something that happened in the past, in their past, and you kind of got to really listen to understand what's going on. But when you're watching the show, this past episode, man, it was heavy. The next episode is about to be 80 minutes. So if you think about it, that was a movie within itself. And then you had Avengers Endgame. So by Monday, people need therapy. They were done. I know I need to talk to my therapist and book. But she was booked already because everybody was talking about it. Yeah, it was heavy.
Well, I missed all of that.
Yeah, you missed all of that, bro. It was epic. You missed all of that.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yo, if you need HBO Go, I got you, man. You can use my password, bro.
I got HBO.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh, you do?
just don't watch it. Yeah, I got HBO.
I didn't know if you had HBO Go or not. I got mad people who use my password.
Go. I got HBO.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I got mad people who use my password. So I'm saying if it was an HBO issue, you can gladly use mine, brother, when it comes to Game of Thrones.
I'll binge it.
You know what I'm saying? Because unlike other stuff, Game of Thrones they don't charge you or take it down, nothing like that. But this episode was dope. This episode was heavy. It was impactful. There was this one guy who died because he got friend zoned to death.
Wow.
He got friend zoned to death, man. Imagine you've been in love with this woman and she chose this one soldier guy over you earlier in the season. And then later on, she chose this other thief. She chose every guy that was less than you. Every guy that was beneath you, she chose. And then she still don't want to give you no love. Like, she chose one guy who was this fierce warrior, but he died because he got a pepper cut.
Whoa.
Pretty much. Yeah, he died because he had a pepper cut. Then she chose just everybody, dog. This dude still went down fighting for her. And you think that when he was dying in her arms that he was going to give her like a you know, she was gonna give him at least like a kiss, good day. You know, like, you saved my life again, I'm gonna give you a kiss. Nah. Dog, he got friend zone so bad that I know women who were watching the episode, my homegirl was like, she should have flashed him a boob or something. Like, that's how friend zoned he was, dog, when he died. Yeah, he got friend zoned to death.
Damn.
Yeah, man, he died from blue balls, dog.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just what it is. While the other guy got his balls cut off, this dude died from blue balls.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, just to let you know. So it was really great, man. But I think we pretty much covered probably, you know, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that covers about it. That's
everything
about it.
Everything that didn't happen this week. I'm gonna be tuned up to watch Game of Thrones.
And that's where I get to my keeping my record spinning and spending time with the family. That's when I get to that.
Get time to hit this. You get a chance, make sure you check out our platform. We are on YouTube. We are on SoundCloud. We are on Spotify. Make sure you go into the search engine and type in Hip Hop Matrix Show, one word. Make sure you follow us on our Twitter at HHMS98. Follow me at J.Hall Radio. Follow this guy at DJ Akademiks. Anything going on with you, brother?
Keeping these records spinning, spending time with the family.
As usual.
And that's it.
Be blessed, for and successful, and we'll talk to you soon. We ghost.
It's the Hip Hop Matrix Show.